Hey Flosstube, it's Stephanie back with my monthly update for June. Today's Sunday, June 25th, so June's actually almost over, and it's been a little bit of a crazy month, but for all good reasons, which is nice. So I'm gonna give you an update on my projects, on the rest of my Stitch Mania, which went a little haywire, and I will explain that to you and show you some of the stuff I have been working on for the past month. So, but first I want to start off my nieces, who are some of my most faithful subscribers. They watch my videos every time they get posted. My younger niece, Riley, told me this. On your next video, you need to start your Flosstube video like this. Hi Flosstube, this is TT, and I'm going to talk about Remy and Riley. So I'm going to take a minute and talk to you about Remy and Riley because it actually kind of goes along with one of the big things, or two of the big things actually going on this month. So Remy and Riley are my nieces. Remy is 7 and Riley is 5. And as you can imagine, they are just the light of my life. They are, I just adore them. They make me so happy and laugh, and they are so fun. Every time I see them, my heart just grows so much. I think you can't take anymore. And they are the daughters of my youngest sister. And then a couple weeks ago, my sister actually had a little boy named Sawyer. And he is perfection, absolute perfection. And I said to my sister and my brother-in-law, you guys make beautiful kids, because they do. And he's beautiful, he's perfect. His sisters adore him, and he's just wonderful. So that was a very big thing in our family this month, that little Sawyer came into the world. And he's just precious. He's just perfect. I mean, there's no better word. He's just perfect. And so one of the things that they wanted me to show you is they draw me pictures, and I love them. I decorate actually the cabinets in my kitchen with them. It's like an art gallery to them. And so I was talking to Remy last week, and we were going through the pictures, and she chose which ones for me to show you. And so this is Remy's picture that she made for me of a butterfly. And this is Riley's picture of a butterfly. And they have these books that they follow, and these videos on YouTube that they follow for how to draw different things. And so they're learning to draw animals and superheroes and all these different things. But these are just two pictures that I took down to show you that they draw for me, and I love them. And I told them the other day that I have more cabinet space, and so they need to draw me some more, because I need some more. And I will save them forever. And then I've started shopping around because I want to teach them stitching, and so I'm starting to look around for things to show them, to teach them how to stitch. So as soon as I find some stuff, I bought them the cards, you know, the cardboard cards that you lace the yarn through and stuff like that. I just got them some of those, so we'll move on to the next thing pretty soon. But so that's just a little bit about Remy and Riley, and if they're watching, hi guys, TT loves you. And I just wanted to share a little bit of them with you because they make me so happy. And now little baby Sawyer too. So, and then before I go any further, I also want to just thank everyone again for watching and for subscribing and the wonderful comments. And I try and answer them all. Sometimes it takes me a little bit of time, but I just want to thank you all for dedicating a little bit of your day to watching my videos, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And I also want to just say a special thank you to Stitch and Petunia, who gave me a shout out on one of her videos, and I'm just so grateful for that. And I'm just so grateful for all of you, and thank you for watching so much. I just can't tell you how much I appreciate it and how much it means to me. So I just wanted to say that. And now let's talk about some stitching stuff. So, like I said, my second part of Stitch Mania, there was a little more. It was not quite halfway. It was more than halfway actually on my last video, but it went a little bit haywire. My plans did, for a very fabulous reason though, and that is that I started two of the Mirabilias that I wanted to stitch, and I just got so sucked in that I couldn't stop. And so I ended up spending more time working on those. I did have a new start, which I'll show you, and another whip that I worked on, but in the midst of all of this, I had started these two Mirabilias, and I just couldn't stop. Every day it's just what I wanted to work on, so I decided to go with it, and so that's what I did. So I'm going to show you those and show you my start, and kind of some of the other stuff I've been working on too, because this is actually mostly what I've been doing for the past month too. It just has been so enjoyable that I just, like I said, I just went with it. So this is the first new Mirabilia that I started during Stitch Mania, which is, this one I haven't gotten very far on, but I'll be getting back to it, but is Raven Queen, which I know many of you are familiar with. I love this pattern. I've loved it since the minute I saw it. And I went back and forth about which fabric to choose for it, and asked some friends that I stitch with to help, and we went through it all, and we laid out the threads on it and everything, and kind of finally settled on it, and I like the choice. So this is how far I got on it. Not too far. My Maleficent needle minder, because she reminds me of Maleficent, and I love that movie, and so that's why she's on there. But I don't know who made this fabric, because like I said before, I buy a lot of it online. It's 16 count fabric though, but what I like about it is, if you look at the pattern, she's going to look a little bit like she's floating in the clouds, which is what I wanted. And it looks a little bit like you've got the sun in the mixture of the clouds. So I think that I think it's going to be really pretty on there. So I've got a little bit of stitching done. I have all the threads for it, but I haven't ordered the beads yet. I still need to do that, because it takes, this one and the other one, they take a lot of beads. So I still have to order those, but I'm saving all the beading till the end anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But this is the first one. Oh, she's so pretty, and she makes me so happy. I just love working on her. And like I said on my last video, I'm in on the Mirabilia thing. I am so in. I am in like fun. And one question that I had that I wanted to ask is, I saw people talking online that a few months ago, I think it was, that there was a Mirabilia retreat that happened in Australia. And when I had gotten together with my stitching group, we were talking, and someone mentioned that they happen in America too. And so if anybody knows of any that are taking place in the States or upcoming, or how I can find out about them, if you could leave me a comment, I would really appreciate it, because I would love to go to one. And I saw that Nora Corbett was at the one in Australia, and I just think that would be so cool. So if anyone knows anything about that, or how I can find out, I would appreciate it if you could let me know. So I would really love to go. So this is the other one that I started. This is at the Met, which is so beautiful. And there was a piece that was on Stitch Mania recently that somebody had finished and just had framed by Jill Rensel. And oh my goodness, was it gorgeous. And that's who I plan on sending this one to when I'm finished. But so that's at the Met. And this is, it's on fabric called Twixt and Tween. It's 16 count, but I don't know who makes it. It's Ada though, because I ordered it online, I think from Stitcherista. I think that's who I got it from. But I thought it matched the colors really well. So this is as far as I got on this one. But this one has been a bit of a learning experience, because when I started putting in this blue, I started first with 2 strands, and I just didn't think that it was enough thread, enough coverage. So I took it out, and I started again with 3 strands. And when I got to about this halfway point right here, I just thought it looked really messy, and it was really bothering me. So I took it out again. And when I went to put it in for the 3rd time, I realized that this had to be it, because the fabric could not take it being ripped out again. It was already so stretched out underneath where I had already stitched, and it had to be it. The fabric just couldn't take it, and I don't have any more. So I put it in again, 3 strands, using a laying tool, and I laid as nicely as it possibly could, considering how stretched out it was underneath. This part was much better because it hadn't been stitched, but up here it just struggled, and I just told myself, just wait until it's done. When it, sometimes when you stitch something and you wait a while and then you look at it, it seems to flatten out and just kind of fill in the way it's meant to fill in. And I thought, just wait, and see what happens, because I just couldn't. There's nothing I could do. I couldn't railroad the stitches because I was using 3 strands, not 2. It wouldn't really have worked. So the best option I had was the laying tool, which I did use. And so then I got the blue in and started working on the other parts, and it still kind of kept catching my eye and bugging me. So because it was so stretched out underneath, the holes were big. So I just, using a technique I'm using on my Angel of Love by Lavender and Lace, I just took 1 strand of the blue and went through each row and put a little stitch underneath each one. 1 strand, 1 stitch, each square, just to kind of pull it together a little bit. And that helped. And then, it's also just a great lesson in, when we're stitching and we're looking at it like this, it doesn't always look good. So at the end of every day, when I was still questioning it, I took a picture of it with my phone and would look at it. And it's, it doesn't, I'm sure you all know, it makes a difference to look at it like that and to pull yourself back a little bit and look at it. And I noticed after I got all the bottom stitches in, and I thought, well, it's good enough. It was good enough. And actually, the more it has sat and kind of rested, as I've been putting more of the black in and a little bit of the colors here, it's really settling in, and I'm happy with it. I'm excited about it. But it made me a little bit nervous because I love the fabric with it so much that I didn't want to start again on different fabric. And I just feel like this fabric lends itself so nicely. You can kind of see how nicely it picks up the colors. So I'm happy with it. I think it'll be good. When I finish my cross stitch pieces, I usually take them to the dry cleaners and get them cleaned and pressed anyway, so it presses them even more. And so I think this one will be just fine once it's done. But it's, when I look at it now, even it's settling into its own. And so I think that's just one of the things I would always recommend to people is, and I know a lot of you already do it, but just take a picture of it. It makes a difference when you can look at it literally with a different eye, and it helps. So so I've been working on this one. She's so pretty. I'm excited to get down here because this is down where the dress comes out down here. This is the one that actually takes more beads even than the other one. So, but like I said, I'm saving the beading till the end. So I've got a long way to go to that, but she's pretty. These Mirabilias, oh my goodness. And I just ordered some fabric that I said on my last video I wasn't into the mermaids. And then I saw this fabric that somebody posted online, and I ordered a piece, and I'll show it on my next video because I haven't gotten it yet. I will now be stitching a mermaid. I just have to figure out which one. Once the fabric gets here, then I'll look for the perfect one. But I'm now in on the mermaids too, so I'm going full throttle into the Mirabilia world. So, and I didn't know that she releases a pattern every month. And on one of the Facebook groups, they were talking about it like a week ago or so. Oh, it's coming, it's coming. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I didn't know that she released one every month. And I got so sucked into it that the morning it came out, and I woke up and I was like, wait, this is the new Mirabilia pattern day. And it's very exciting. So it's such a wonderful world. I just love it. So so I was working on that one. Those were 2 I started during Stitch Mania. And another one I started, it's not very far, but this one I started, I had mentioned on my last video that I was getting ready to go to the needlepoint retreat at my LNS Aristea, and I went, and another wonderful, wonderful time, wonderful weekend. I shot some video while I was there that I will put at the end of this video. If you just want to see a little what it's about, if you aren't familiar with the store, you can see the store. And we just had another great time. They're going to do it next year, so we're already all signed up. So it was really great. But this is when I started during that time, because it's a retreat. I think you could probably stitch whatever you want, but there's no cross stitch in the store. It's only needlepoint, so I worked on needlepoint stuff while I was there. And so this is just the start of it. This is a pattern. I've mentioned before, one of my favorite needlepoint teachers who does counted needlepoint pieces is Nancy Gucci, who taught me about beading too. Her pieces all have beading in them, and this is one of her patterns that I really love. And it's called Amazing Grays. I'm going to try and take this out because it'll glare on the folder. And she uses a lot of metallic thread too. And so that's another thing I love about her patterns. But this is what it looks like. Zoom in there a little bit. And it's got beading and all different types of beads, metallic threads. It looks like a black and white picture, but it's actually color because the picture is black and white. Oh wait, here's a better picture. Here's an actual photo that she puts in with it. That'll show it better. So that's what it looks like. And I've been wanting to stitch one, like I said, stitch this one for a while. She offered it. I had taken another class from her, and so she offered the people in the class that they could buy this kit from her. Because she doesn't really teach it anymore, and so I was very lucky to get in on it. So it's not very far. I'm just putting in the border right now. It's in a tent stitch with a gray Krynic. And I don't know if you can see, but like these are the colors in it. All the different shades of gray. And oh, you can't really see the beads because she puts them in little bags, but these are the kits she puts together really nice kits. These are all the threads, and she puts in an ample amount of thread. First of all, an ample amount of beading thread. She always puts in a little beading dish and needles, and she's wonderful. If anyone's going to the A&G seminar in Anaheim in August, you probably already have your classes chosen, but she's going to be teaching there, and she's teaching some encore classes with them, and you can find her teaching classes online. She's teaching, I just found out, I'm very excited, for one of the A&G chapters that I belong to about an hour from here in Ontario. She's teaching another piece of hers, a new one I've been wanting to stitch, and she's finally teaching it there next June, so I will get to take that one too. But so this one was just a little bit of a start that day, and so once the border's in, then you get into the good stuff. But so that's another one that I started during Stitch Mania. And then I worked on a whip that I have that I'm looking for. Oh, here it is. Now this is really tragic in a way. So this is a class that I took 2 years ago in April. 2 years ago, April, out at the same A&G chapter in Ontario. And this is, and I will show you this, but I will tell you that this picture does not do this piece justice, because as you all know, with pictures, you can pick up the metallic and the sparkle. But so it's called Boo Choo Choo. It's a Halloween train by Janet Zickler Casey. She's also, you can only get her pieces in teaching. So, and she's a fun teacher. She's from Texas. She's a lot of fun. And this was the first class I ever took from her. Her canvases they're not painted, but they're not counted. Well, they're kind of counted. They're line drawn, which means she draws the outline, and then you fill it in and kind of put it all together. So I took this one also to the retreat because I realized that I hadn't worked on it since I took the class 2 years ago. And I have now since then taken a class from her. She pilots these classes. And what's nice about the piloting classes is you're you're helping her. A pilot means, for those of you who don't know, a pilot means it's a new piece that she's teaching, but you're the first one to ever sit in the class and use the instructions, and so you help her. Maybe does something need to be explained better? Are there typos in the stitch guide? Whatever it is, so that by the time she gets ready to teach it, which she premieres her pieces at seminar, her instructions are as perfect as they can be. And so I like doing pilot classes because, you know, I think it's great helping teachers. And I've never had something where like, oh, this is, they're so perfect. They've been doing this for so long that it's little teeny tiny things, if anything, in their instructions. But you get to take the classes for a little bit less than maybe they would normally cost. And Janet, pilots her classes with this Angie chapter every year. So I took this one 2 years ago, the Halloween train. The next year we did a Christmas train, which on one of my next videos I will show you because it's so cute. This past April we did a Valentine house called the Love Shack, which she is premiering at A&G in August in Anaheim. And then we've already signed up for next April, which is going to be a 4th of July train. And the following year, she's doing an Easter train. So I decided that I pulled this one out to work on. And I have set a goal for myself to finish this one before next April when we do the Halloween or the 4th of July train. Just because, come on, got to get these finished. But so there's 4 cars in this, as you saw in the picture. And I started working, well, I pulled out to work on, we work on each of them in class, so they all have a little bit of stitching in them. I worked on this one at the retreat, which is the gravestone car. And I will show you what it looks like. And I hope you can see some of the sparkle in it because it is just precious. You can see the wheels are sparkling a little bit. This is all metallic. This is metallic. It's so cute. But this is what I mean when I say it's line drawn. And then when you stitch it, it maybe will go a little bit past the line. Like, these are pretty even, but maybe you have to go a little bit past here or a little bit past here to fill it in, or something like that. So, but this is the car that I worked on at the retreat for one of my whips for Stitch Mania. And I worked on it for a few days after because I'd forgotten how cute it was. This part I worked on for 2 days at the retreat. It took me that long. It's a basket weaving. Oh, it just took forever. But it was good when we're sitting there chatting and, you know, stitching, and it was perfect. So, and I'll show you just the other cars just so you can see what they look like. So this is the Count Dracula car. This doesn't have a needle minder on it, but I don't know if you can even see. Look how sparkly it is with his little coffin. And so, but you know, you fill in the tires. So this is where it is kind of counted. In the instructions it says to go out X number of stitches to put in the wheels. And because part of it is because it's a train, you got to make sure that the wheels are going to line up. So, so this is the Count Dracula car. This is the engine. Which, I mean, look how creative her stitches are even. That the wheels look like candy corns, and that one right there. Her stitches are just, and even the ghost, like you can see the ghost is going in there a little bit. And, again, this is the line drawn, and, she's just a lot of fun. I really love her classes. And then this is the last one. This is the caboose. And these are all, this is all, well, because I haven't pulled it out, this is all stuff we did in class, so we get some stitching done in there. So this is my goal, to have this finished fully finished by next April, before we start the next train. I'm farther along on the Christmas train, which, like I said, I will show you on one of my next videos, because I'd like to pull that out and work on it a bit too. But so that was my other whip that I worked on. And then that's really kind of all I did for the end of Stitch Mania, because I was so caught up in working on the Mirabilias that I I just went with it. And so this was my first experience with Stitch Mania, and I really enjoyed it. And now that I kind of know, I can plan a little bit better for next year. I probably will do more whips than starts on the next one, only because now I have so many whips because of all the starts that I made that I'm gonna, I'll focus more on those. But I just I'm so excited about it all that I wish I had more arms that I could stitch more at the same time. So it was a fun experience though, and it was so fun stitching along with everyone else and seeing what they were starting and what they were working on, and it's just such a wonderful community, and I really enjoyed it. So it was fun to participate. I really enjoyed it. One of the other things I worked on two other things. So I worked a little bit more on my carriage, which every time I work on it, and then I think, why aren't you working on this more? Because then I remember how much I enjoy it. So I put in more on this one. I've got almost all the decor on the outside of, or the edge of the wheel. It also has another round that goes on in the center here. But I've also been going through and looping all these beads too, because these I think I'm just about, yeah, I've looped all of these. These are all done, so they're not so loose now. And then I went up here, put in more of the roof of the carriage, and started over here. So so it's coming along. It's another, I remember, like, this is part of, I told you on my last video, of my 3 whips for the Long Beach Guild that I'm in, to try and finish by November. So I got to put in some serious time on this summer. So this is my focus for the summer, is stitching on my stuff. I was supposed to go on a trip to Israel next month for work, and then I was going to do a little traveling, and due to an unforeseen health issue, I'm not going. And so I decided I'm just going to focus the summer on my whips and my stitching, and putting together my trip for London next year that hopefully will happen. and I will go to Israel some other time. But so this is what I'm going to focus on, these pieces that I'm working on this summer, and just kind of relax. I'm signed up for a few classes and stuff. It'll be nice. I don't enjoy summer. It's my most unfavorite time of the year, actually. I hate the heat, and I hate that none of my shows are on TV, and I just can't wait till regular TV programming comes on and the kids go back to school, and then it feels like everything's right with the world. But fortunately, I deal with the heat. My wonderful stepfather, about 7 years ago, or 8 years ago, maybe more than that, put in an air conditioner in my house, and so I have an air conditioner, so I can sit in my house and not have to deal with the heat too much. And I'll go outside. It's hot. Like today, it's hot today, and I'm wimpy. I live like 5 minutes from or 5 miles from the beach, so it's, I mean, I don't even think it's 80 degrees out there, but how wimpy is that? I walked outside and it was hot, and but I went out. Oh, because this was the other thing that happened in our family. Another big thing. My niece Riley, the 5-year-old, graduated from preschool on Friday, and so we went out to her preschool graduation, and they were so cute. All of these little kids in these little cap and gowns. Oh, they were adorable. And each one, as they kind of came out, they said their name and then asked them what they wanted to do when they grew up. And Riley wants to be a teacher, she said. I played school with her before. She will be a very good teacher. But all these little boys, I'm going to be a policeman. I want to be a fireman. One boy wanted to be a rocket ship. Another one wanted to be a spaceship. And one wanted to be a chef. These kids are adorable. They were so cute in their little cap and gowns. And when Riley came out and then she was standing there, me and Remy kept waving from the stands to see if she would see us, and she did. And then she knew where everybody was. She was waving at her mommy and daddy, and it was adorable. So so that was another fun part of it. But when we were out there, oh, this is why I started talking about that. It was 110 degrees where she graduated. So I couldn't wait to come home to my 75-degree weather. But so it's hot. I do not like summer. Never have. Winter, I love it. It could, and it doesn't snow here. Obviously, I live in LA. It doesn't snow here. It could rain all the time and I'd be thrilled. So we don't get a lot of rain. We did this year because now our drought's over. Yay. And it's green and beautiful and it's really nice. But yeah, I'll just stitch my way through summer. So the other whip that I have been working on is, you may remember on my last video, I had started the Stitch Rovia charity sale. And I had started lesson. I'm still on lesson 1 because it's a big lesson, a big set of instructions. But I'd had to pick out almost all of it because I was off by like 2 rows or something like that. So I've been working on this a lot, and I love it. This is one I can't get enough of it. So that's how far I am. Here, pull it back a little. You can see. That's how far I am. I'm choosing my own colors. And so that has been, it makes it a little bit slower because I'm testing things out and sampling. But I'm having fun with it to go, well, I think this will work. And so then I put in a little bit maybe here or something. Oh, yeah, that works. That's great. So it's really fun. Like this part right here, where it says live by, I started this last night. And I put in the green, but it was a different green. It was a Versois silk that I had. And I got up this morning and could tell right away that it was too light. It was just, no matter what I did, it was too light. And so I took it out. And it just so happened right next to where I was stitching, I had some embroidery floss sitting there for another project that I'm getting ready to start. And I was like, that's the green I need. So I just snagged some of it and redid it. And this is a fun project. This is the first Stitch Rovia project I've ever stitched. I have a couple other patterns, but this is the first one that I've ever actually stitched. And oh, that's my Beauty and the Beast needle minder. And I am enjoying this. So I'm just about done. Hopefully tonight I'll get the rest of this filled in. And then I still have the whole border all the way around to go. This is on a piece of fabric I got. It's 18 count from Fiberlicious. And I think that's kind of part of the problem I had with the green is it's kind of a minty green, and I think it was soaking up the color of the other thread. But you know, I have just different threads I put in a container that I'm going through and kind of choosing what I need and seeing if it works. And I kind of have an idea of the colors I want in it. So I pulled from my stash different things. And it's all different types of thread. Like, this is silk here. I think this is a color and cotton floss that I had gotten. This is, the yellow here is this silky threads that I think Stitcherisa has talked about. It's one of these. And I am fine. I'll talk about I was going to wait and talk about this when I showed my haul, but I'll talk about it a little bit now because I've used it here, and this blue up here is also one of these. This is 18 count fabric. I love this thread. It's strong. It's easy to stitch with. And on the 18 count, I'll go in real close. On the 18 count, I'm only using 1 strand. And I'm a big thing. Coverage is a big thing for me. And I think for me, 1 strand is just fine. So, and that's what this yellow down here is too. So, I highly recommend these. I buy them off Amazon. I know you can buy one big container that has like all 80 of their colors or something in it, and I have not bought that. And I'm just I buy these 1 or 2 every couple of weeks, and I get them anywhere from $5 to $8. Every once in a while, $11 on Amazon. But I've gotten them as cheap as $5, depending on, you know, which ones you buy. And I really love them. And you have a great color variety. You'll see, because I have a lot of haul to show you today. And I just got 3 of these today. Just got delivered. So, but I mean, you can see the colors in there. Some of which I will work into this piece, I'm sure. So, I like these. And for me, 1 strand on 18 count. I would, and probably, I don't know about 16 count. I'd have to try it. 14 I definitely use too, but I think 16 count you might need to use 2 also, but it's a total preference thing. To me, 2 strands of this feels like a lot of thread, and it feels like a lot of thread in the needle. It's heavier, so I'm going on the one. I don't really stitch on 14 count anyway, so that's not really an issue for me. And so, but that is my charity sal, and maybe I'll get the border done before the next one, the July comes out, but it's not a race. I'll get there when I get there. Once I get this first and lesson done, this is a lot of work. I think this part will go a little bit faster with the quotes, but who knows? But it's not a race. I'll get there when I get there. So, and I love the quotes that they're putting on it. I think it's really sweet. So this is a fun piece. If you're interested in getting in on it, you still can. There's still, the lessons will come out till September, and I'm sure you can probably even still get them after that. And they're like, well, I think they're like $2.50 in British pounds, so it works out to be like not even $3. So definitely, they have a Facebook group that you can look at, and it'll give you the link to where to buy the pattern if you haven't started it yet. And they do have colors on there, but like I said, I'm choosing my own. So just for fun, it's a good learning experience. So I spend this a lot of time working on this one. That's what I've done for the last few days, is I've worked on this one. And it's easy to travel with too. So this is when because I take projects to work with me, to work on, like on my lunch breaks, and it's usually this one. So I've spent a lot of time in the last month working on that one. So those are my whips, and I'm going to show you my haul, which seems like a lot. And I don't know if that's good, or not, but it's all right. It's good. I like it. So this is my haul that I got. This is, okay, so this is a canvas, a painted canvas from a class that I signed up for and then didn't take the class. I didn't go. Somebody just brought it home for me. And this is called Color Play by Jennifer Reifenberg, I think is how you say her name. And this one is going to be really cool to stitch, because even though it's painted like this, kind of the technique, as you can see in the finished picture, is stitching colors over the other colors, the colors painted on there, to give it a different look. And you can see, like, these are all the different threads for the class, and buttons, you put the buttons on there and stuff. But I think it's interesting how it changes the look of it. So I just picked this up from the person who got it for me. So, you know, it starts like that and ends up like that. So this is going to be kind of cool to watch. I won't be working on it anytime soon, but you know, I grab the classes when I can. You have to. And then, you know, you get to the projects when you can. My hair is falling out. You get to the projects when you can. So this one won't be right away, but I will get to it. I'm glad I had the opportunity for it. So, okay. These are cool. So I went to my retreat last month, and one of the things that they offered us was we could get all the canvases for 20% off. And they had just gotten all their new canvases, and oh my goodness, was there some beautiful stuff there. I got these 2 canvases, and they came with stitch guides, thank goodness. They are by Lee Designs, is who does the canvases. Look at these. They're supposed to be coasters. I'm not going to make them as coasters, though. I'm going to frame them. That's the first one. That's the other one. This one my friend Monica found when it was sitting on a table and said, oh, look, there's another one. And I said, oh, look at that. Because when I saw this, all I could think was beads, beads, beads. Can you imagine all this jewelry with beads? All these jewels. That one, all sparkling beads. And I even had them put them on stretcher bars for me, because I'm going to do these pretty soon. This is kind of, well, this is what they look like finished on the stitch guide. But I'm not doing my jewels like that. But it kind of gives you an idea. I'm not going to do my jewels like that either. But at least for the stitches, I have an idea of what to do. So I got these 2 canvases. And apparently the lady at the store was showing me there's 6 of them. So I'll have to keep an eye out for those. And aren't they? I think it's called Royal Jewels is the collection or something. She just put it out. And then she has bigger ones too. Aren't they pretty? And I'm not normally a blue person, but I loved it. And this one, I love fleur-de-lis. One of my favorite designs. So when I saw that, I knew I had to have that one too. Oh, that one just has flowers. So I got those with the stitch guides, yay. And then I got this one. They were having a trunk show there. By Little Shop was the trunk show. And I kind of looked at the stuff and I was like, oh, that's really cute. And then the last day, of course, I saw this and I think the whole idea is so cute that I just went for it. So it has these two canvases, or these two designs, these two hearts that you stitch up. But it comes with this, it's like a cookie cutter. And it's decorated, you can see with sparkles. I don't want to take it out because I'll get glitter everywhere. But the idea is you finish these double-sided, and the heart has a hole in the top, and so it hangs in there and spins. Oh, I just thought it was, well, I thought the canvas itself was adorable anyway, and all sparkly with lots of metallic threads and everything, but then hanging in this cookie cutter, I just couldn't resist. It was not expensive either. I was really surprised. And so I went for it. I just thought it was so cute. And I have so much stuff to stitch up for Valentine's Day. If I would just get on the stick and do it. And every time Halloween comes around, I'm like, I still don't have those things done. So I'm going to have the cutest decorated house once I get all this stuff stitched up for the holidays. I'll probably be 80, but it'll be cute. And I'll still appreciate all the bling. So I got that, and then I got one more canvas. I initially, when I went there the first day, I got a bunch of threads, and I didn't find any canvases, and I was like, well, listen, you don't have to buy a canvas. And I had told myself, you know, I had set a limit of what I could buy, and I was like, well, you didn't buy a canvas. And I thought, well, you don't have to. And then I walked out with 4. But doesn't that always happen? So I got this one. I don't think my older sister watches this. I hope not, because this is for her for Christmas. But she doesn't watch this, so Jackie, if you're watching, look away. So I got this. Wait, we're waiting for Jackie to look away if she's watching. So I got this for my sister to make for her for Christmas. Look at that. And this is by Alice Peterson. And I looked at this for 3 days at the retreat and then finally bought it on the last day. And I'm just waiting. I found a store in New York that has a stitch guide for it that I'm going to order tomorrow. And then I'll start working on it. Hopefully this Christmas. That'd be nice. But I'm a slow stitcher, so we'll see. But here's the thing about this. I'm not going to show it again, so Jackie, if you're watching, you can now look. She put out a series of these. And she has another one that are children's books, and another ones that are, I guess, what you would call classics, like The Great Gatsby and those kind of things. And they're just coming out, just like they're new this month. And those I'm gonna get and make for myself, and I'm just waiting because I finally have heard of a designer who's been making stitch guides for them. So I will get those later in the year, and they are so cute. And if you're interested in this kind of thing, again, like, you can get the canvas, and even if you go to a needlepoint store and they don't have the canvas in stock, they can order it for you. And that's probably what I'll end up doing. Well, I know a store who has the other ones, but that I need to order, but they can order for you, and they can get a stitch guide. And my personal experience is that if you talked about doing counted needlepoint, you can kind of get the hang of it. But if you have that, and then you go to your local needlepoint store, they will help you figure out how to do the stitches. There's YouTube videos too for how to do them. If you look up a particular stitch, how do you do I can't think off the top of my head what a particular stitch is, but you can watch videos on there too. And there's not too many stitches out there that are too complicated, but your needlepoint store will help you. And so if you're interested in doing this kind of a thing, a painted canvas or a line drawn canvas, or even a counted canvas, if you want to get more into needlepoint, definitely check out your local needlepoint store if you have one. I know not everybody has that luxury, but also there's some great videos on YouTube for how to do stitches. And frankly, I know I'm not the only one, but I think anyone who does these videos who knows how to do it, and if you're wondering about a stitch, then I think, I know I would be willing to show somebody how to do it. And I'm sure there's others on here too. So don't be afraid of these. I don't do painted canvases a lot, strictly because I can't afford to buy them, really. I buy them when I can get them at a discount. And but a lot of stores, like a couple of the stores around here, I know, both of the classes I'm taking this summer are classes where the teachers are there just specifically to help you with any type of canvas you want to do, and how to choose stitches for it, what stitches to do on it, or if you have a stitch guide, how to follow along with it, how to use it, or if you're having problems with something. So a lot of needlepoint classes do that. Or you can come and stitch for a couple of hours and they have people there to help you. So don't be afraid of these. But painted canvases are not cheap. That is for sure. And as we all know, then once you also buy the threads, it's not inexpensive. But watch for the sales. Christmas is coming. Scary, but Christmas is coming and you can get some good deals and stuff. So, but I got this one, so I'm excited to start that one. I've seen a picture of it all stitched up and it's so cute. So, I did get that. That's for my sister. And I got just some other threads that, oh, look at this. Look at these beauties. I got that thread there. This one, I don't know what I'm going to stitch with it, but I will figure something out, because how beautiful is that? As soon as I saw it, I couldn't resist. And this one too. I am enjoying purple more and more and more, I am finding. So I got some thread there. Oh, and I bought more thread there. I got this. These are for this heart canvas that I got. So this one right here, look how pretty that'll look with those threads on there. And I love the bling. Gotta have, the more bling the better, I say. So I got some more threads there. That was expensive. Oh, then I got this. So I got an email from this lovely lady Jennifer, I think that's her name, Jennifer, who runs Delicious Threads. I have all these needle minders. Did you want to pay for them now? Oh, I completely forgot all about them. So I happily paid her. And then they came. And then when I got them, it was like all new all over again, because I completely forgot that I'd ordered them. So here's some of her wonderful, wonderful needle minders. It's kind of hard to see because they're in the plastic, but that's the book from Hocus Pocus. I love windows and architecture like that, so that was fun. The Harry Potter 9 3/4 platform pins. So I have more needle minders than I will ever need in my life, but I don't care. I love them. I think they're so fun. Oh, and she sent me that nice little gift with it too, her stuff is really cute. So she's on Facebook if you haven't checked her out. Her stuff is really cute, and she's lovely, absolutely lovely. So I enjoyed doing business with her. And then I got more needle minders. These ones are from No More Lost Needles in she's in England. So I got two from her. Born to Rule, and this other one says, heavy is the head that carries the crown. Because I love royalty stuff. And then, who I normally get my needle minders from, and definitely check out her Facebook page if you have not yet, is True North Needle Minders. It's run by Erica. Definitely check out her page. I just got, these are big too. Got some Star Wars ones. These are heavy. These will have to go in a big piece because they're heavy. And I got, my nieces love Wonder Woman. So I got Wonder Woman. I like the Painter Artist Girl. This is the Tree of Life, which I love. These are ones she specifically does. And I thought those were pretty. Here's some more. The broomstick from Harry Potter. another broomstick. Oh, that's the map from Harry Potter. Kylo Ren, Han Solo, and Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia, my most favorite. Here's the funny thing. I just got a text a little while from my boyfriend. He's working today. He just helped Harrison Ford in their store. He sent me a text, Han Solo's here. And he said he was not grumpy, which is really nice. So I know where he was shopping today. So I think that's all the needle minders I got. So I told you I've got more of these, of this, I think it's Sulky. I think that's what it's called. I'm almost sure that's what it's called. Yeah, Sulky. So got the neutral colors because I love stitching in neutral colors. These will definitely get worked into my Stitch Rovia piece. This, and they have these collections like winter, spring, summer, fall, and I just got the last of those. And I have no idea which is which. It doesn't say on here. Or at least I can't see where it says. But they're all cotton. It's all cotton floss. I was just looking to see if it said, but it doesn't. But this will give you an idea of the colors. So there's that one. I'm going to guess I have just about the whole collection now. And these, I think these will last a long time. The colors are so pretty and they stitch up very true. You know, sometimes, you know, when you put a color in, it'll lose the color a little, but these stay very true to the color. And the variegation, which is really nice. That one's really, I love that one. That one's really pretty. Oh, that one too. I love deep red colors. I think this is the spring set, if I remember right. And all of these I bought off Amazon. All of them. Some of them are saying only 2 left in stock, so I'm guessing that they're falling on the floor, but that's all right. I'm guessing that I'm not the only one who is buying them. Nor should I be. And then I got a new chatelaine because these will take forever to finish, but I watch Running Stitch is one of my favorite Flosstube video people, and she is stitching this Persian Iris garden, and I will show you the picture, which will not do it justice. I cannot recommend enough to go look at one of her videos. It is spectacular. It's so beautiful, and it's so blingy, and she showed it on her last video because she worked on it during Stitch Mania, and every time I see it and I think, I really need to order that pattern. I really need to order that pattern. And then when I saw it on her last video, I just thought, I have to have it right now. And I have 2 other chatelaines going right now. I have the London Mandala and the Medieval Town Mandala. I have to start this. I've started kitting this one up already, and it's beautiful. Her piece is gorgeous. So that's what it looks like, which, like I said, does not do it justice. And I was lucky because when I ordered it, 123 Stitch had it on sale. But if you're in, go look at her video. It's beautiful, so sparkly, and this one will take me a little while to kit up, but I'm gonna start it pretty soon, and it's beautiful. So, and I have another chatelaine that I ordered. It's one of her newer designs called, I think it's called Royal Crowns or something like that. But that one I'm waiting because I want to stitch that one all in silks, and I just want to order the kit from European Cross Stitch with everything in it, and it's just really expensive. So won't be coming anytime soon, but it's just so beautiful. I feel like it needs the silk. So we'll see, but I have the fabric for that. I have all the floss for that, and I'll bit by bit, because as you can see, I've got a lot so recently, so I'll do it a little bit bit by bit over the summer. So I got my latest floss of the month from Color and Cotton, which they are so pretty. Should move out of the way of that. And this is my first floss of the month that I joined their floss is really wonderful. So if you're thinking about starting one, I recommend this one a lot. I heard about it from Ginger Gerald Stitcher, and I joined it. I think it's $10 or $12 a month, which is not bad for 5 skeins of floss. And I'm also using this one on my Stitch Rovia, and I really enjoy it. So they just go on their website and sign up for it. But these are the newest colors, and this is the third one I think I've gotten, and I've not been disappointed. The colors are really beautiful, and they're all hand dyed. So that's the newest one. It comes out the 1st of the month, so I should be getting another one fairly soon. Ooh, and I got some fabric. This is, I think more and more people are hearing about her. Kathy Davidson, who has a Facebook page called Dying for Cross Stitch, and she posts fabric every Sunday, which it should be coming out anytime now. But I got this one. It's very like a forest green. And oh, look at me, I'm buying more. This doesn't say what count it is. Shouldn't mark it. It's 18, it looks like. But and then I got this one. This one is 28 count Lugana, so I'm branching out in my fabric choices, because I have found now, isn't that pretty? Her fabric is really beautiful. It comes with the edges all finished, and she ships really fast. And she does a really beautiful job. So, but you have to watch on Sunday afternoons, because her fabric goes really fast, and she's doing a real nice job. She used to do on Stash Unload, and then now she started her own page. So I don't know who oh, this is from Rolanda. So this is, oh, this one's more. I knew I had more of Kathy's. Sometimes I'll go during the week and see what didn't get bought, and sometimes there'll be a few pieces, but it goes really fast. You really have to watch it. This is another one. Oh, this is 20 count Jobelin. I'm really branching out. I didn't even realize. Look how pretty that is. That's gonna have to I'm gonna have to find something good for that. Look at it. She does a really, really beautiful job. And it's so soft. Well, that might be probably the Jobelin too, but I love her fabric. This is also 28 count Jobelin. I'm impressed with myself. Oh, because I started to say I have discovered that I can, after starting the Let Freedom Ring by Lila Studio last month, that I can stitch on 28 count if I use a magnifier. And I will show my magnifiers in just a minute, because someone asked me about them. But I did find I can see. I just stitching like this, I can't really see. I do have to have a magnifier, but so that's why I'm starting to buy more of that, because now I figured out how to stitch on it. And then these are 2 pieces of fabric that I got from Rolanda, who also, she posts on Mondays on Stash Unload. And she's in Canada, but it doesn't cost too much with shipping and stuff, so I buy a lot from her too. This says it's called Desert Sand. It looks kind of rose colored though, but it might be where I'm sitting. I'll find something good for that too. Oh, I know. I have a couple more Mirabilias. I want them out of good on this one, because this is, what's the count on this? Oh, this is 28 count, so that would work nicely. And this is another 28 count. I guess I'm going to start stitching on 28 count now. So it doesn't say what this one's called though. And so she posts on Stash Unload. I'm going to go zoom in on that a little. She posts on Stash Unload on Mondays. And you know, again, I get it pretty fast. So that's who mostly I buy my fabric from. So I now have quite a collection, and I'm trying to also learn to start dyeing my own. I've done a little bit, but I have a little more work to do on it. I watched the video that Farm Girl posted with her tutorial for dyeing, and it's it's really good. So I'm going to go back and try it again following that. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet, but I'm kind of enjoying making my own fabric too. But now I have so much fabric that I just want to stitch. So I won't be doing it anytime soon, but I do have the stuff for it. In fact, I just bought some dye the other day at Hobby Lobby, so I will try that. And but I'm enjoying what I have now, so it'll be good for a while. So that's it for my haul. I do want to show you this magnifier, and then we'll do books and movies really fast, and then we'll be done because this video is getting long. So someone asked me on after my last update video, it usually is sitting right here. I have a magnifier with a light sitting here, and she asked me if I would show it, and I will be happy to. So it's right here. It's an light magnifier, and it has a light on it. Oops, sorry. It has a light on it and then it has it, and it sits in the stand right here. It has another different size magnifier that goes here, but I have it carried around in my stuff right now. And it clips, you know, I clip it right onto my fabric. I don't use this a lot though, because the neck is not very long, mostly is why it just doesn't stretch very far. But when I'm sitting here stitching and I'm trying to figure something out, I'll grab it to look at it and just to see what I'm doing sometimes. So it works nicely. I bought it at Joann's, and Joann's has a sale right now. They're going to have a sale for the 4th of July. You can use a 50% off coupon, which is what I think I did with this, and it was $20 or something. It's not very expensive, and they have different ones, but I think the regular price on this one's like $50, and I bought it right in their store. I didn't even, you know, I just went in there and looked at it and thought, well, that should work. So that's what this is that's sitting here. And like I said, it's an light, and you just saw the light, that's for sure. But the other magnifier that I bought, I bought this at my LNS. I don't have the box sitting here, so I don't. Oh, it's made by Bowen. Is I use this one more, I'm finding. Like when I stitch on the 28 count, when I was working on my Let Freedom ring, this is what I used. I always I have to tighten the thing on it. But because this will clip right onto my frame, and this one does not have a light, but I just clip this on one side of my frame, and my light that I use just a book light to clip on my frame. If I'm, or I have a light that sits right here, but I like this one better. I just find that the magnifier is better. It's bigger, and I bought this one at my LNS for, I think it was $25, but I do find I like this one better, and so I use it more often. But the light I use just for quick reference, you know, and it has a little cover, because you hear the things about those magnifiers, you got to be careful. But so that's what that is. That's the light. This is by Bowen. I do use this one more. It's a total preference thing what you need it for, though, but both of them clip onto frames, so you can move them around a little bit to focus right on where you need it. So I really like these. I'm finding more and more that I use magnifiers. I like it. Because I feel like I can see my work more cleanly. So I have one more big one. I don't know if you can, this sits right here next to my chair that I pull over, and it's connected to the table that sits next here, so it doesn't go anywhere, and it also has a light on it. I bought this online from somebody, so it's old. I don't even know, but it works great. So but it stays connected to the table all the time. So that's the magnifiers, and we're gonna do books and movies really fast, and then we will be done. We'll call it a day. So I've had a big reading month. I've been reading a lot, which is nice. I set a book goal for myself. I got the idea of it from a lady who, she writes mystery books. I follow her on Facebook, named Sue-Ann Jafarian. You may be familiar with her books. She writes humorous mystery novels, and it turns out she lives up the street from me. And she does this every year. Her goal is much higher than mine. But so I set a goal of a number of books to read every year, and I can read them or listen to audiobooks, either one. And my goal this year, and it was my goal last year, is 28 books, because I read very slow. So and I do listen to books on tape in the car. I find I'm preferring that more now. I like listening to them in the car. And this month, with the different things we've had going on in our family, I've been doing some little bit longer drives, so it's been nice to have the books. But I've also been reading more. I'm ahead on my goal for where I need to be for this point in the year, and that has never happened before. So we'll see. But the fall is coming and things get busy again, so we'll have to see. But so two of them that I had to return to the library already was The Girl Before by J.P. Delaney, and this book blew my mind. I read it because I had read that Ron Howard's making it into a movie. It has a little bit of a Gone Girl feel to it, which is interesting because I hated the book Gone Girl, although I liked the movie. I hated the book. This book I could not put down, and I did not have it figured out. When the ending finally got revealed, I did not have it figured out. It's told very interestingly too. I don't want to give too much away, but it focuses on two women at two different times who move into this very odd particular type of house that an architect has built. And it's interesting because the house itself almost becomes one of the characters in the book, which is kind of fascinating. And it was really good. And so I highly recommend that one. A friend of mine is reading it now, and she sent me a message one day and said, I can't stop reading this book. I said, I told you that would happen. So I read that one. And then I also read another one of Carrie Fisher's biography. I think I read Wishful Drinking because I had to go back to the library too. And then I have Shockaholic now, which I have not read yet, but I have that one from the library now. So I read another one of hers. I realized that her writing is very strange. She was quirky. Her writing is very scattered and kind of all over the place, and you read something and it was like, how do we get on that topic? But then that's her. So she has been my favorite actress since I was 10 years old, and I've met her, and she's really, I miss her all the time. I'm so sad that she's gone. And especially the news that has come out recently about her. As I've said before, I follow Hollywood, and I love Hollywood, and the news that came out this past week is tragic. It's tragic. I hate drugs. Hate them. Hate them. Hate them. And they take too many good people. So, but I did read hers, and then so I've read this book before. So this is The Help by Catherine Stockett. I've read this book. I read it a year before the movie came out, and I loved it. And when I saw this in the library, and I thought, well, that could be kind of cool. And then I saw who read it. It has a couple different people who read it, one of who is Octavia Spencer, who was my favorite in the movie. She was Minnie in the movie. She reads Minnie in the book on tape. I just finished this the other day, and boy, was it enjoyable. Listening to it, I really came to enjoy the girl, I forget what her name is, Jenna Lamia, who reads Skeeter. And at first when she started reading it, and I was like, well, that's not Emma Stone. And then I really came to enjoy the sound of her voice. So, and then listening to it again, I was like, did I even read this book? Because there was all this stuff that I had forgotten because I was thinking about the movie. So now that I have finished it, I'm going to watch the movie again. But this is just an amazing book. If you have not read this book, it's a wonderful book. And she has not put out another book since then, and I wish she would because she's a talented, talented writer. I also read this one, which is just kind of fun. So this is, it's called Ovitz by Robert Slater, and it's a biography about Michael Ovitz, who started the Hollywood talent agency, CAA, Creative Artist Agency, and then he went on for 1 year to become the president of Disney. And I love Hollywood, so I found this really enjoyable. His business, how he decided to run a business, I found really fascinating. And it reminded me how much I just love following Hollywood. I always have since I was a kid. So I enjoyed that one. And then I just finished this one. And I don't know how many of you have read this, but it was so good and so disturbing because I had to keep reminding myself that it was a true story. The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. It's coming out in August as a movie with Brie Larson, who you might have seen in Room, which is another great book to read. But these children lived their lives in complete and utter poverty, often homeless, and I just don't understand how nobody did anything about it. It made me sad. It made me angry. I got angry as I read it. But then there's a part of it that how three of the four kids have gone on to lead extremely productive lives, her included. I mean, obviously her, but the youngest daughter, from what she implies in here, is struggling a bit. But I was angry when I read it, because I can't stand the thought that children lived like that, and the parents didn't do anything. It was because of the parents. The parents didn't want to work. They didn't want to, you'd have to read it, but it made me angry. But it also shows that you can overcome the hardest things in your life to go on to lead good lives. I don't know how these people did it, but they did. And it was interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing the movie and how they do it. Woody Harrelson plays the father, who was an alcoholic, and he's going to be brilliant. I know it, but it made me angry that nobody did anything to help these kids. So that's all I have to say about that. And then I'm reading this one right now, A Man Called Ove by Frederick Backman. I'm reading this because my friend suggested it to me. And I'm like, it has a very sad backstory, but as it all gets told, it's kind of, there's parts of it that are quite humorous. So I just saw too that it's a movie on Amazon Prime already, so I'll watch it after I finish the book. But I have to finish it by the end of the week though, because it's due back at the library. I love going to the library, getting books. It's my favorite thing. So I love getting books like that. I love holding them in my hands like that. So very quickly, binge watching. I have been binge watching the newest season of Orange is the New Black. I'm on the very last episode. Another great season, but it has left me in a bit of a funk. It got very strange in the middle, and it's left me in a funk. But it's a good series. The acting on that show is incredible. I'm about a fourth of the way through the last episode. I have no idea how it's going to end. I've heard what people said, that it ends sad. I don't know. We'll see. But I watched most of it about 2 weeks ago, and I had to stop because it left me in such a funk. So I've been watching that. I've been watching Catastrophe, which someone who watched my videos recommended. Very cute, an Amazon Prime show, and Carrie Fisher's in it. She has some bit parts in it, and it's cute. I like it. And then I just have been on a binge, because the news of the world and stuff right now is not the best, and I'm watching my precious London struggle so much, and so I've been watching things to just kind of keep my spirits up a little bit. I've been binge watching my favorite TV show, The Middle, which it's my favorite show on TV right now, and so it always when you're having a hard time, like, it just makes me feel better, oddly enough. And I have been binge watching Doris Day movies. So I have loved Doris Day movies since I was a kid. My mom watched them, introduced them to us. So I've been watching Doris Day movies. Pillow Talk, Lover Come Back, Move Over Darling, The Thrill of It All. Can't remember what. Please Don't Eat the Daisies, which is one of my favorites. With Six You Get Egg Roll. Those were just great feel-good movies. So I've been watching a lot of those. Old Disney movies. I watched North Avenue Regulars the other day. Such a riot. And Freaky Friday with Jodie Foster. Those types of movies. Pollyanna, Snowball Express. I've just been watching movies like that. So, and those and stitching, and you just kind of can get through the day. So that's what I've been watching. And again, if you have any recommendations for what to binge watch, I welcome them. I have a great list going of what people have recommended, and I appreciate it. Please keep them coming. I'm always open to give something a try. So and just one shout out I wanted to very quickly give is a new person I have found on Flosstube called Denkai, which you may know. She's from England. She is a hoot. She's got the greatest laugh, and her videos just make me so happy when I watch them. And so if you haven't seen her videos, go check them out. If I go to England next year, which I am planning on, I'm going to offer to take her and her darling husband to lunch, because they're just so cute and they're spreading so much joy. And so go check out her videos if you haven't. She's really a lot of fun. So and I've been watching all her back videos, so she's really great. So that's it. Again, right after this, I'll add just a little bit from the retreat the videos from the retreat that I took, if you're interested in seeing those. And I will be back again in about a month with another update. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and happy stitching, everyone. Thanks. Hi, Flosstube. It is Memorial Day weekend, and I am here at my needlepoint retreat at Aristeo Needlepoint, which is right there across the street in Santa Monica, California. And I thought we'll be here for 3 days and just stitching on whichever projects that we want to stitch on. And it's just a great time getting together with friends and stitching, hanging out, having lunch, that kind of stuff. It's a great weekend. This is like the 4th year I think that they've done it. So I thought I would just share it with you a little bit so you can kind of see what goes on, see this beautiful store, and join in a little bit of the fun. So I'll share bits and pieces throughout the weekend, and I hope you enjoy it. So, and if you're in LA, then come visit Aristeo, because it's really beautiful. I hope you enjoy it. And then some in 2008.
This is Andrea. Hi, Penny.
When we got there, we were planning to do the kids on the tractor run.
How are you? But I don't know what it is.
Carol, did you see the people that live in Palos Verdes, Joy, you're trying to kill them? Susie Anderson has set traps and caught 19 of them.
And relocates them.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that was how I sprained my foot.
It's been a long time.
I know.
Hi.
Oh my God, look at all the cats up there.
I cannot.
See, I can't imagine.
No, me
doing this.
neither.
Yes.
There's no way.
Okay.
I mean,